Starting to do repair of these heads. Now I've decided I'm going to try and change the exhaust valves. Oh, I don't want to do that. And I'm going to try and get a 45-degree cutter at least, and see if I can get the other two sizes. I forget what they are, 60 and 67 and 32 or something like this. Because you need to recut these seats if you change the valves, because you change the centre. And I want to skim this on this board. I'm just using a chessboard with some 1000 grit. I just want to check the warpage. So it says service limit is 0.1 mil or 40 thou, which I think is quite a lot. And it says to do it in a diagonal. So using these shitty squares, there's no way I'm seeing any gap. Especially not 40 thou. So this is 20 thou, it's massive. Only little issue is there's a bit of corrosion, you can see it. So that's kind of why I'm just going to skim it on this. If you call it skimming. 5 thou. Nothing at all. So the heads are good. Just check the other one. I've got the gasket. I've used a bit of Scotch pad for this. Scrubbed away. A bit of solvent, MEK and acetone. Actually the acetone works best. Happy with that. And if it's saying you can go down 0.1 of a mil, yeah, okay, so if you look at the torch, it's different. No, it's not. It's all perfect, actually. Perfect, I would say. So I'll start with this head, why not? That's what it looks like now. I'll show you the finished look. And I'm just going to gently rotate. And let the weight, try not to push, making it uneven. Just let the weight of the block or the head do the work. That's okay. I'll explain what we're going to do with this and where we are. So we've measured it, and basically the valves, the exhaust guide vanes are the worst bits. I'm going to try and attempt to replace these guides, machine this 45° with a cutter afterwards, and ream the guides as well, so it'll all be nice and new. And I've got replacement exhaust valves. So the other head's in the oven at the moment, so once it's ready in about 10 minutes, trick, it says you extract them from this side, and I'm going to use my nice new press and see what happens. There's a risk it might crack, but so I thought I'll do this first before doing anything else. Let's see. If you ever want to do this, I mean, it's cheaper just to buy some lower mileage heads, to be honest, but where's the fun in that? And what are you buying? I think this will be like new, near enough by the end of it. So that's the I don't know what we call it, extractor, valve guide extractor, something like that. This is to set it. Nice new Honda original. So it gives you the depth, you'll see what's going on as we go along. And I've got some new guides which are quite funky. So I'll explain this. Like a cast iron, but they have I forget the name. It's like a taper, but it's not. It's like an oil collective thing which goes down about halfway, and it kind of gets thinner. The grooves get thinner to the point here where it's smooth on the end. You can see all this. Yeah. So it looks like a thread, but they're actually the kind of smooth on the crest, if you like, and then it's smooth on the other end. So apparently an upgrade, but cheaper than getting it from various websites. eBay special. Talking about the cutter, there's three angles. There's like a 72 and a 32 and a 45, but I'm only interested in the 45. The others are just a transition, so I'm not too concerned about that. And the cutters are quite expensive, so, but I'm still waiting on that. It's coming from America. But we'll see, we'll do this today, see what happens. Right, so we're kind of lined up. Let's see what happens, I think. Try and get it square enough. It's just going to go bang. I'm not liking that. try again. Didn't really work to plan. So instead, I'm just going to smack it. Plenty of oil. Right, exhausts are the long ones. Affirmative. Right, with this thing, that gives you the correct depth. So it goes on like that, goes like that. Let's have a go. Gloves because it's so hot. Now you could freeze them, but it might help a little bit. I didn't think of that. Okay, started. Yep. Another long one. It actually guides in quite nicely. Just keep some pressure on it while you tap it in. You can tell it's square. The tone change. They go in easier than they come out. The old ones. A bit oval. Okay, so that's happy with that. I can touch the heads as well. And there they are on the inside. Look pretty good to me. I'll leave it like that, let the oil drain. So I'll just repeat the process on the other head. Leave it there for today. Right, I want to take out the gruff spots, I think it's termed. Basically the casting imperfections. And maybe just open up the exhaust port slightly You can see, maybe you can see, if I bring it closer, see the line going down. I want to try and get rid of that. All these high spots can go. They're not doing any good. The inlet sides, I'm not really going to touch at all. Just on that side there, you see where my nail is going down. Just smooth them out, because they're causing, or they may be causing, some kind of wear, or where the fuel can attach. So instead of it being a nice vapor, it's that'll turn it to liquid. But all this polishing ports and high velocity ports, I think it's a bit of a myth. I don't think it'll do any difference on this engine. It's a 1970s design. I think they were more concerned about just how to get the shape of it, more than what the design and of this convergent duct is doing. And by smoothing this, it's knowing a little bit about aerodynamics. You get a boundary layer on top of this, and the molecules above the boundary layer kind of roll across them. So it's kind of a good idea to have a rough-ish surface. Obviously you don't want like a brick wall, but so that's the idea. I'm just using like a grinding stone, and a little grinder as well. We'll go from there and try and put you in a semi-decent position. Right, so we'll start on the exhaust. So as I said, we're going to open this up slightly, just on there's plenty of meat. Just attack it a little bit. I'm not bothered about changing any shapes. As I said, I don't think Honda were really sort of thinking of gas flows efficiency with this engine anyway. It was more just about manufacturing. So, could be wrong, could be totally wrong, just my opinion. But will this do anything? It'll just, I don't know, make it, might help a little bit for it to breathe slightly. So moving to the second bit, I'm just using a stone. carrying on with these cylinders, so from where we picked up last time, I've just kind of lightly sanded the intakes. The finish is still a bit rough, but there's no high spots or imperfections. Happy with that. And same with the exhaust. We've taken a bit of meat off there, and I've just polished it again slightly. That's all I'm doing with that. Right, we've changed for valve guides, so I need to run a reamer through because they have closed up slightly. So I have got the correct reamer from Honda. Where's my wood? There it is. So I'll just run through each one. All it needs. So valve guides are perfect now, diameter wise. Yeah, perfect. There's no hardly any. Feels good actually. Right, so we've got to, because we've changed the guides, we've got to find the centre on this valve seat again. So I've only got one cutter, but I think it's not the best manufactured. Now with these, the idea is to have this mating face. This is the bit that I'm concerned about, and you want to have a bit of a gap here, and you don't want to be too far here. So the mating face has to be somewhere in the middle, no more than 2 mil. Now that to me looks a bit more than 2 mil. It's not, it's 1.8, so it's the same as the face actually. We've still got to find the centre again. So we get our new way cutter, 45 degrees. Should really get 3 of them, or the 3 angles, but I'm just seeing if I can get away with doing a 45. So put it in there like so. I can feel it's not concentric. What's the word? It's concentric. It's not like it's going to cut a new face for sure. Yeah, so instantly I'm seeing it's starting to cut just this half circle from there to there. It's not touching this. So we're gonna find it's gonna make a new seat. So because I know that, and we don't have much meat to play with on this top surface here, so you've just got to be careful. I've got to be careful. There we go. That's all I want to do, really. Do a little bit more. You should be able to see it now. Yeah. I guess this bit here. So that's the new, from there to there, it's the new seat. This is the old one. I've got a good distance and a good kind of transition. It's 1.3, limits 1.1 to 1.3, that's the service limit. So we'll go down slightly more. There, that's fine. Right, same again for the exhaust. So, put it in by hand. Start cutting, making sure you're overlapping the actual bit that you're going to cut, not digging into this. Make a scratch, see what's going to happen. So you see it's coming there again. And then this is the last bit, it's half mooned again, so I'm just watching this bit here, and as soon as I start to see it to cut, then I'll stop. I'm not pushing down, I'm just letting the weight of the tool do the cutting. Okay. You see with this is the new from there to there, going round. The rest I'm not going to touch. That's as good as I'm going to do. So I'm quite happy with that one. Inlets. The last one. And then we'll grind it a little bit to match each valve individually. That's all four done. 45 degrees. I've still got a transition. Just that was getting close. Yeah. I'm not sure whether to get the other two cutters just to decrease this slightly. But it had to be done. They were definitely different after these valves, so at least it's central to the guide now. Right, good little trick when removing dowels is get a drill matching the internal, and then you can get a good grip on it without it crushing. Like that. Simples. Gotta keep that one because I need to replace it. So now I've got a nice flat working surface. So I just want to lap these valves to each respective valve seat, and it'll also give me an indication of where the mating face is touching. So get the grinding paste. I'm using the fine, which is this. Smear it evenly. Stick it in. Don't recommend the next step. You can get the little sucker, but I think if you're careful, use your own judgment when doing this. Take it out. And what have we got? So I'm looking for 1.1 to 1.3 would be perfect. Now we see the mark is there, look, which is not too bad. Go for that. 1.8. Service limit's 2. And on the valve, it's kind of nicely in the middle, I would say. 1.6-ish, it's no more than 2. So that's good. I'm quite happy with that. And I'll go around, do them all. When I get the inlets, I'll do the same. And that can be with this valve now forever and ever. And that is that one. So that's it. Cylinder heads are reconditioned. Best I can do with the tools I have. First time I've done all that, so it was a bit of a learning curve. These learning about the seats and the guides, but I'm happy that it seems to be okay now. Everything's tight, new, no corrosion around here, new valves, new guides, a bit of a polish. And a good clean. So I'm looking at these heads again. I've purchased a 60 degree cutter. Because I will try to explain. When I've lapped these new valves, they look like it's too far to this point here. It needs to be more in the middle. So to do that, you have to bring the seat further in, if you like, by cutting away. The exhaust valves are fine, they're looking nice, but it's both of these same. That's not as bad. If anything, it's too much the other way. But I will live with that because that's, you see, it's just this one really, which is the right hand inboard valve. Exactly this one. So the theory with this is stick it on there. I'll just use a drill, bit of oil. Get your drill bit, or your drill. Right, I wasn't filming. Oh, bloody hell. Anyway, so I had this and I was lapping it. The shiny bit was too close to this edge, so I've bought a 60-degree cutter which brings the mating face further along, more central. So I did it. I've put some blue pen and I've got a nice gap now, so it's almost central, better than it was anyway. It's near enough in the middle. So I've already lapped these, no need to do it again. So it's ready to be reassembled. What do you think I'll do today?